All right, guys, the video you're about to watch is an interview that I just did yesterday. If you're watching this today, I just did this yesterday with my little brother Porter, and I want you to pay attention to a couple of things. Number one is I want you to pay attention to where he's being interviewed at, and that should be just indicative of how busy this kid actually is, how much he has going on. And I bring this up in the interview. He's got a baby. He's got a wife. He has church responsibilities. He's literally doing this on the side. That's number one. The other thing I want you to pay attention to is how many offers he made in the last 30 days. How many people he asked for money. I go through this a couple times. I bring this up a couple times in this interview. I want you to pay attention to the direct correlation between how many times you ask people for money and how much money you actually make. I'm super proud of this kid. I tried to get him to do it for a long time. Well, probably about a year, and he's like, kind of hum-hot around, and then baby was on the way. We had the wife, and he's like, I got to make more money, and he dove in, completely in. But what's cool about this, guys, is he's still able to do the thing that he loves, which is farming. He didn't quit farming to do this. He is doing this on the side in those spare moments that he has. And every single person that's watching this has spare moments, whether you're doing door-to-door sales, whether you are a full-time mom, whether you are a doctor, whether you're a college student, you have spare moments. And my guess is you have more time than Porter, and he's been able to create a $20,200 per month business. It's not all profit. We'll go over the exact profit percentage in this video. But he's been able to do this using those bits and pieces of time that he has throughout the day. So guys, I hope you enjoy, and let me know in the comments any questions or comments that you have. I would love to hear and address those, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, beautiful. What's up, bro?
Not a whole lot. How are you doing?
You're just chilling, bro. Just chilling. Guys, welcome to the call. We're going to get right into this really quick. Porter, how's work on the farm?
It's good. It's kind of slowing down. We're towards the end, so kind of ready for it.
We need that, bud. We need to see what Porter can pull off full time here.
I know I need to get after it, but it's funny. I do better when I'm busy.
I know. You need to almost go pick up a side job, bud.
I know. I might start doing Uber or something.
Uber in Parowan, Utah, dude. Just picking up drug dealers.
And a few dogs.
So I want to start with this, guys. Welcome to the call. I'm going to read the people that we can see. Got Porter, Andrew, Archer, Ashley, Bunny. What's up, Bunny? Good to see you on. Corey, good to see you on as well, my friend. Been a minute. Cynthia Pavone. Looks like, I'm assuming your wife, unless you're joined twice. Diego, Jonas, Carrie, Lauren, Ray, Travis, and Zach. It's awesome because I see a lot of the same people on every week, and ironically, these are the same people that are getting deals. I want to share really quick this interesting conversation I had yesterday, just to reiterate that you guys are in the right spot and kind of give you guys a little bit of peace of mind there. So I get on this call yesterday. And this is somebody that Porter actually knows, but I get on this call with this kid who's making, Corey, what's up, man? What's up? Bunny's reading the comments. This kid's making $50,000 a month selling solar. Okay. Ironically, I know some of you guys that think Corey's sold solar. I know he's selling some other, he's done windows and all kinds of different stuff. But so he's making $50,000 a month selling solar, and he's living in Dallas, Texas, grew up with me and Porter, and he gets on this call and to join Digital Landlords, and he starts walking me through. I'm like, dude, that's a lot of money, bro. You're killing it, right? And even Kyle said the same thing. He's like, dude, that's crazy. So we start digging in, and the kid is working 9 to 9. Okay, 9 to 9, Monday through Saturday. So I'm like, all right. After we hop off the call, I jump on and start doing some math, right? So I start going, okay, 9 to 9, that's 12 hours. You do that, you times that by 6, so that's 72 hours a week, right? Then we times that by 52 weeks in the year. That's 3,744 hours, right? So I'm like, all right, wonder what his hourly rate is. So I times the 50,000 times 12. Let's say he's making 600K. That's assuming he doesn't have to pay anybody or have expenses or whatever, which I'm sure he does. That's fine. We'll divide that by 3,744. Means his hourly rate is $160 an hour, right? So what does the average person work in a week? Because they work 40 hours, and we do 40 hours times 52. So the average person, works 2,080 hours, right? So if he was working normal hours and not killing himself, like to the point where I don't know how it's going to be sustainable forever, and we were to times that 2,080 hours by 160, he's going to make $332,000 a year. Okay. We divide that by 12, and he's actually making $27,000 a month. Okay. So the point of this whole thing is I'm sitting there going, Porter's not at 27 yet, but he will be by the end of the year. And he's doing it on the side. He's doing what he loves, which is farming. He's got a child, which this guy does not yet. And I think one of the reasons is because of that. He's living where he wants to live. He gets to be involved in his church. He gets to watch Porter, you have your son with you half the time, I feel like. Right? Oh, it's not letting you unmute, is it? Hold on. Well, sorry about that. I disabled so no one else could unmute it. There you go. Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I see you're with Ford a lot of times. Like you have your son with you.
Yeah. He's always that's a good thing about it.
Yeah. Well, so think about it like this. Okay, yeah, he's making 600,000, but like he's literally almost working double the hours of a normal human. That's awesome. That's great. That is not sustainable. One. Number two, that's not a life. Number three, you're not doing what you love. Number four, it's like, dude, imagine if he took 3,744 hours a year and did this, right? 9 to 9. What if he worked 9 to 9 or 6 to 6 every single day, 6 days a week? What do you think he'd be making in this? And guess what? After a year, he wouldn't have to start over at 0. He would be starting at, now maybe after a year with that kind of work ethic, he's probably going to be at 30K after the first year. Maybe he's at, let's say he's only at 10. Well, now he's at 10, and then the next year's at 30, and now he's building on top of it. And then eventually he's going to get, so by year 2, now he's making the same amount that he would make working normal hours. Like he's really only making 100. Now that's a lot of money. $160 an hour is great money. I'm not saying that. But that's also not to mention that solar, let's assume hopefully solar doesn't change, which it's going to. So I just started thinking about it. And the interesting thing is he didn't commit on the call. I didn't really push him super hard or anything. It's somebody I knew. So I wasn't about to do that. But I was just like, I said, you got to get really clear on what you want, dude. I'm like, have you ever asked yourself that question? And you know what he said, Porter? He goes, yeah. I'm like, what do you want? He's like, time. And I'm like, well, I happen to be selling. I said, I happen to know somebody that's selling exactly that. So why am I telling you guys this? I'm telling you guys this because you're in the right place, guys. I know there's a lot of opportunities out there that you can make a lot of money. I've made a lot of money doing door-to-door sales. I made $210,000 in a full 5-month window. It's more like it's probably 5 by the time it's said and done. So times that by 2.5. If I would have been willing to do that year round, I would have made $500,000, right? So you guys, again, you guys are already in here. I don't need to resell you, but I want to remind you guys that you are in the right place. In order to get rich, like Naval Ravikant says, you have to own equity. You have to own a piece of a business. You have to own part of a business in order to get rich. Okay, so you're in the right place. You have a business. Not only do you have a business, but you have a business that has leverage. You have a business that I think is getting more popular, not less. You have a business that's a necessity. You have a business that's recession resistant. You have a business that has fat margins. You have a business that's scalable. You have a business you can do from anywhere. You want me to keep going? Not that I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but it's a good business. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. A little quick side note. I did a little bit of that on my story. I was kind of sharing that, and I'm sure he saw it. I wasn't trying to be rude, and I hopefully didn't offend him. But I was like, dude, you literally just told me you want time, and now you're questioning it. So I'm like, all right. Anyway, guys, real quick before we get started. Oh, hopefully none of you guys are fasting because I'm sure that peach fresca just sounded good in that mic. What, are you thirsty, bud?
No, I do. It's a good little flavor right there.
That's a good flavor right there, dude. Just got done with Chipotle. By the way, just to shout out, Chipotle has a new sauce. Dude,
So
they
the
got
spicy one?
ranch. Me and my other brother Zach just went to the gym and then went and got the sauce or got the Chipotle. They got a new sauce, guys. I'm not trying to say I'm a spokesman for Chipotle and saying it's like the best food ever, but they got a sauce that will freaking knock the socks off you. When you go every single day, you catch the trends. Okay. Also, I'm gonna say this, and then we'll get shout outs and we'll get in this interview. Funny thing happened to me just barely. This is related to this business. So I go in Chipotle and I see another guy. Okay, not gonna mention names. I see another guy that has a program in this space. Who, by the way, has never done this. Who's never actually made a dollar doing rank and rent. This isn't me like guessing. It's him telling me because I asked him, how did you start the course? Did you do this other course? Or, no, we hired somebody to build it. That's what he told me. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's what people are selling now. So I see this guy. He knows me. I know him. We talk. We're cool. Like I've got no beef with him. He sees me and I walk in and he completely, you could see when someone's in your peripheral vision, right? It's not like the place is packed. There's like 3 people in there. So I keep looking at him thinking he's going to greet me. And then it clicks. He's sitting there with somebody that's potentially going to do rank and rent. And he's doing a little lunch meeting, right? Take him to Chipotle. It's only $7. So he doesn't greet me. And I'm like, why is this guy got beef? Then it clicks. I'm like, he doesn't want me to go and greet him or say hi because then this other guy's going to meet me. And if he goes down the wormhole, he ain't going to get that money. So the guy just blew me off, dude. And I was telling Zach, I'm like, remind me to tell you about this guy behind me. So anyway, that was the ego stroke when your competitor just completely ignores you because he knows you're going to, it's like when someone's walking, it's like someone walking around with their girl and not wanting to say hi because he thinks you're going to swipe his girl. It's like, dude, I don't care about your prospect. They're going to find me anyway. Anyway, so that's competition, guys, that we're dealing with out there. Be careful. It's a wild world. Okay, let's give some shout outs. Number one, I want to give a shout out. I got a bunch of shout outs really quick. Most of them are for Porter, but I got 3 other people I want to shout out. Number one is Vaughn Call. I think this was this week. He got a $600 a month deal. This is all organic. Plus, he did a $6,000. I'm reading. I took some little notes from the post. Plus, he got a $6,000 website build for somebody else with a $1,000 a month SEO deal on top of that. Guys, I got no beef with you guys taking on those kind of deals at all. Just make sure that that's not your focus. I think they're great. I think it's great money, and use that money to go, run some more ads and hire a VA and do everything else to keep building your core business. Next, I want to give a shout out to Chris Arndt. He bumped up his old towing client to, he's doing a pay-per-lead deal. I don't love pay-per-lead deals, but he's making money if he's got something going on. I don't think it's scalable, but if you got one client and he's whatever, he bumped him up to $15 per call. And he's getting about 20 calls a week. So it's estimated about a $1,200 a month deal. Then I got to give a shout out to Asin. I think that's how you say it. Just closed his second deal, $500 a month for 3 months. Okay. So shout out to you guys. Are any of those people on this call? Vaughn, Chris, or Asin? If you are on this call right now, but I don't see any of those people. Okay. No problem at all. But if you guys are on this call, let me know in the chat. Also, and lastly, I'm going to give a quick shout out to Porter. Porter landed a $1,000 deal from a recent client that he wants to expand his business. He closed another $1,400 a month deal in the fencing space, which was a really cool story we're going to get into today. And then he closed a $1,600 a month deal, bringing him to $20,200 a month, which is why we have him on. And another deal that we didn't, on top of that, last night closed another deal for me. Do not hit him up, by the way. He's not an assassin for hire. He is doing this because we had a situation where Francesca couldn't close it. I felt like and I'm saying this, Francesca, if she listens to this, I'm happy to talk to her, but I felt like if I went in and stepped in and was like, hey, I'm going to close it, I thought it would kind of look bad and me trying to prove it to her that I could close it. So I was like, hey, let's have Porter do it. Porter went to battle on this, and you lost 2 clients before you landed this one of which basically told you that your baby's ugly and that you suck and that all this other stuff. And he kept persevering and landed a client, and now we have a client. So he actually closed 4 deals. I think it's been in like 10 days, 10 to 14. I don't know the exact number, but it's been a lot. Right?
Yep.
Okay. But what I want to point out, and I said this on my stories, guys, if you don't follow my stories on Instagram, I got nothing to sell you. You guys already bought, but I think it's worth the time because I share a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. But I talked about this a little bit, guys. What people forget though is that if you remember, Porter, you were on here 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I said, how many offers did you make? And you're like, 6. I said, how many offers in the last week? And I think you said 6, 5 or 6. And you closed none of them.
Yeah.
So
Just
it's crazy, right? Like you go 0 for 6 and you start thinking, oh, something's wrong with me or this, that. And then it's like, well, now you just closed your last 4 in a row, 5. Because there's these 1, 2, 3, plus the one you got from me, plus I think there was another one. No, okay, these 4 in a row, and it might have been one before that. So it's just like our clients, guys. Like, anyway, I don't want to go off in too many tangents, but yeah, were you starting to doubt yourself a little bit when you went 0 for 6, dude, in a week?
well, and to add on to all that, dude, I dropped down from 16 to 13 in 2 weeks. So I lost 2 other clients that I didn't share, which I like for some reason I just is like it's embarrassing. No one wants to talk about the clients that drop off. But like I had a client that I was working with that I was paying me for 2 different areas, dropped off for 2 different sites. So 2 of my clients paid me 3 grand. Now they dropped down to 1 area. So I had to resell both of those.
Right.
So like in the last month, I've landed more deals than I landed all of last year. Like, and it's sad to say, but like I was to the point where I was like, shit, dude, like I freaking was at 16. Now I'm at 13. And then I lost like 6 deals. Then someone chewed me out and said that like what I'm doing is weird and you're a piece
You
of
start to
shit.
doubt yourself a little
Yeah,
bit,
dude,
bud.
you're just like, what the hell, dude? And then you're like trying everything you're doing. You think you're doing it, you're right. You're like, dude, what's going on? And then it's weird how it's like this momentum thing. Like it was that first deal. I remember that first deal that got, well, as soon as you get a deal, dude, that momentum is so real.
Right.
Like you just feel it and then you close it and you're like, that's exactly what I did. Like that was a good, when you do a call and you're like, that could not have gone any better. And so then you try to replicate that. And that's what like kind of got me hooked. I was like, okay, I'm still in this. It wasn't that I did anything wrong. It was the business owner. It wasn't, I mean, yes, it probably was my fault, but again, it wasn't the right fit at that time. So I keep looking, but dude, the momentum
Yep.
changes it.
It's a real, so that's what's crazy is like, I don't even think you've really talked about how, like, you haven't really been boasting how many deals you've actually got because you've had to replace some clients too. So Porter kind of only talks about the deals that he gets above what his last level was at. But in the last 30 days, this is one of the questions I have for you, bro, is how many people do you think you've pitched in the last 30 days? How many sales calls would you say you've been on? I know you've been on at least 10 because I just counted the 10.
Yeah. I would say 20 calls. Like some days I popped on 2 or 3 calls.
On actual sales calls.
On actual sales calls, dude. And like literally, like I did one in the morning one time, like I did it before work, then I did one at lunch, lost both of them, dude. And I just a shitty day.
Just like, I could have just taken a nap or played with my son. I just lost 2 deals.
Then I got to go freaking dig a trench, dude. You just feel like a piece of poop, dude.
So has anybody on this call, maybe Corey and Cynthia have done this, but because they're crushing it, by the way, I got to give them a shout. I think they're either at 20 or close to, more above maybe. They might be the only other ones, but has anybody even done 10 Zoom closes this month? I would be shocked. Like, the guys, he's averaging. That's insane. And here's what's crazy, dude. Think about if you did that every single month. So you have about a month left of farming, right? So let's just say this next month, whatever. Let's just say you only get like 5 because you have a weird month. Not that you're going to do that, but let's say you get 5, you close 1 deal, you got 21,000, whatever. Okay. Or 21.5. Imagine that during your slow season, which is November, December, January, February, you got 4 months. Then you get back into it in March. Imagine for those 4 months, you did 20 calls, right? So right now you're closing. How many did you think you closed with the replacements? You're probably closing at like 40%, right? 30%, probably 30, let's say 30%. Okay. Mm-hmm. We'll do easy math, 33%. But let's just say you can do if you were to do 20 calls, let's even go 15. Let's be conservative. One every other day. 15 sales calls. Let's go even more conservative. Let's say one every 3 days. Let's say 10 sales calls a month for 4 months, okay? Let's say that you can do 40 sales calls and you can close at 33%. And your average ticket is, which by the way, most of your deals are over 1,200, closer to 1,400. Like these deals right here, I'm reading 1,000, 1,400, and 1,600. So you're over it. We're going to say 1,000 for fun. I mean, you could be at close to 35K. Now let's just say you have, even if you have 30% that, with attrition, which by the way, one thing you guys need to understand, if you're new, you can do everything in the world right, and you're still going to have clients cancel. Okay. I had the weirdest thing in the world happen to me about a month ago. I had this client, artificial grass. It's actually the one I told you guys about. I did like a dual city strategy on. I'm super pumped. It's taken me forever to actually land this client. And I'm like, literally one of my big 3 things for the week is re-sign client. And not only re-sign, but upsell. I text the group thread. I'm like, hey guys, just want to make sure what's the closing percentage looking like? We're communicating pretty rapidly. I get a text back from their sales guy that says, oh yeah, we switched industries. We no longer need your website. I'm like,
What?
and I didn't respond, and I messaged the owner. That was a sales guy. I'm like, is your guy just like April Fool's joking me? And he's like, no. He's like, we switched to permanent lighting because there was too much headache with turf. I'm like, oh, thanks for the heads up. Okay. Dude, we were cranking out leads. We were getting 1 to 2 leads a day. I think we were averaging like 40 a month the last month. They were closing, like they were getting like a 3-4x on their money. What do? Okay. You're going to lose deals, but what's going to happen is what I always try to explain. Once you've done this business for a while, what's going to happen, it's just going to be like, let's pretend you had 20 rental properties, Porter. You go fill all 20. You're going to have 5 of those families that buy houses, right? You're going to have to replace them. They went and bought a house. How are you going to stop them? You don't, of course they want to buy a house. You're going to have 2 of them that you have to kick out because they suck. You're going to have to replace them. Then you're going to have another 3 that, they got work in another city. So you just lost half your tenants. Was it because you're a bad landlord? It's a bad property? No, just didn't work out. But guess what? You got 10 of the 20 that are solid. They're that 50-year-old single guy who doesn't really have that interest in really, buying a house because he's not really there that much. He takes perfect care of the yard. He pays his bill on time. He's even fixing toilets for you just because he likes you. And you start stacking up. And then guess what? The next year, you have the same thing happen. And after about 2-3 years, you have this base of business. The Gary, like I have this guy named Gary. He's been with me since 2019 or 2020. I don't know when it was. Started off on the wrong foot. When Francesca called him to get his credit card, he thought she was a sex worker calling because she had an accent. He called me back. He's like, I don't know who just called me, but it sounds like you got some freaking foreign sex worker trying to get my credit card. Can you solve that? Francesca's absolutely pissed. She's like, I don't think we should work with this guy. He's being very sexist, all this stuff. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I went through a lot of work to get this guy. Meanwhile, this guy's been with us for the past 5 years, paid me over $130,000. I don't even talk to him. He's super nice, super cool. I got Gary. He's been with me for 5 years. I got Joe that's been with me since 2020. I got freaking something Rogers. He's been with me for 4 years doing concrete. All my clients that I have right now, they've been with me for 4 years, 5 years, right? Apart from the new ones that we went after this year. That's what your business is going to look like. So if you guys are thinking that you're going to, no, you're going to have people quit. And could that have been partly Porter's fault for getting the wrong people? Maybe, but it also just sometimes stuff happens. Okay. You kind of have to follow the mentality of Nick Saban, the whole, control what you can control. And that's it. You can control how good you do on your ads. You can control how much or how good you are at responding to your clients and taking care of them. You can control that you go after the right area and that you sign the right client. And then that's about it. And then, you can't really close the deal for them. You could do everything in your control, and then you can't lose sleep over it, and then you just got to keep going. So anyway, you're gonna lose deals. Let's go. I got a couple questions for you really quick. And let's get into this a little bit more. So you're at 20,200 per month.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, how much do you think? I know you're not going to know an exact number, but what do you think? How much of that do you think is profit?
I would say last month I looked at because I looked at all my ad spend. I was spending about 5 to 6 thousand on ad spend.
Okay.
So I would say depend on, and again, some months I lower it, but some months I raise it. So I would say around 15.
Okay.
Now, obviously this upcoming month.
The good news is too is that with Facebook ads, guys, you're getting a lot more leads. Now, are they as good a quality as Google? No, but I don't know if you've done this, Porter, but in a lot of the areas that we've had Google ads running, we've actually went and turned on a Facebook ad, and if it
Mm,
performs better than the Google ad, we're able to do the Facebook ad for half the cost.
hmm.
So that's an opportunity too. So anyway, so let's say you're making 15,000. Let's even go down 14,000, right? If we're
Hmm.
being really safe. You have one VA.
I have three,
Three VAs.
th-
Okay. Are they
three
all in the
VAs.
Philippines?
No, two in the Philippines, one in Mexico.
Really? How'd you get that one?
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine.
Oh, that's cool. Is it Will
Yeah,
Bryan?
yeah.
That's cool. Okay. What niches are you in?
Dude, I'm in three niches, but so fencing and concrete, and then I have one
And is
decking
that one
website.
just like a fencing guy that wanted decking?
Yeah.
Okay. How much time? I'm just kind of rapid fire. Then I'm going to let people ask their questions too. How much time do you think you're spending per week on this business?
It's hard to say because it's kind of throughout the day, but I would say like seriously an hour a day, but like that hour a day I feel like is pretty productive. Like I'll have like a 30 minutes and I'll know I need to set up a campaign for that one. So I'll sit down and I'll put my laptop right here and I'll just hurry and bang out an ad or like I don't know, just talk to my VAs, make sure that and I'm constantly on the phone with the VA. So if I need something done, I'll say, hey, I need a prospecting list, do this. But I'm not the one doing it. But I would say like 7 hours a week, like really, like I'm not focusing on it that much.
Apart from your sales calls, obviously, right? Because sales calls are
Yes.
gonna. Okay, so you're just
That's an hour.
taking
Yeah.
the nitty gritty stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So a little bit, obviously, and then an hour on top of that. So I'm probably looking at probably 20, yeah, maybe 20 hours, probably another. Well, I don't do 10 usually a week, but maybe 16 hours.
The nice thing for Porter though is he's able to double dip. So like he's able to be on a tractor getting, work done and getting the farm moving, and that's part of his hour. Like so he's double dipping. It's not like he's doing, 40 hours. Well, how many hours do you think you're doing on the farm right now with baling? Probably 60 a week.
Oh, yeah, at least.
Yeah, he's probably doing 60 a week on farming, but he's probably doing of those 20 hours a week he's doing on his business. I bet 12 of them are while you're doing the other stuff. And maybe
Yeah.
you have an additional 8 on top of that that's separate. So it's not like he's working, in the middle of the night. He is, but it's on the farming stuff instead of the other. Okay. I already asked you how many deals you pitched in September. And the last question I wanted to ask, and the most important question, is what in the world are you doing right now that is working so well?
Yeah.
Because clearly you're doing something. You're at, again, 4 deals, you're 4 for 4. You just got over the $20,000 a month mark, but I feel like you got stuck at like 8. Remember, you got to like almost you got to 9, then you got stuck at 8. Then you finally crossed the 10. I think that was more of mental than anything. And then I feel
Hmm.
like you got to 15, and I feel like you were at 15 for a long time. Popped to 16, dropped to 13, hovered at 15. And then I feel
Hmm.
like this last little bit, you've just like, obviously not you just like, but you just made this pop and increased 25% and added like another $5,000 in revenue in like what feels like a week. It's probably been two weeks, but what has changed?
I think my mindset of like this time of year, especially, like it starts to get in the slow season, and usually, like a lot of business owners are like,
Slow,
"Oh,
slow for
it's
the
slow."
business, slow for farming, or slow for the
Well,
business owners?
it's slow for the business owner, like because everyone's worried about their. Oh, it's the winter time.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, it's the holidays. So, I'm like thinking, I'm like, well, I can't just like if this is my slow season, like really, how many months do we have left? We have October, November, December, but December is like Christmas. Like typically that's kind of slow, December. So I'm like, if I want to get to 25K, I got to really start thinking outside the box. And so my thing was I started doubling the campaigns I was running, because typically I was running one campaign. But the hard thing is some of the areas you go into, you can't find a business owner in a week, or you can't, like, sometimes it's like that, this one that I just sold yesterday, and it's like a month.
Yep.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to double my ads. I'm going to have way more running. And then I was more thinking like locally. I'm like, okay, I know people that run businesses, and that live call that you did, I want to say it was like 6 months ago, but you're like, what to do? What do I need to do? Or no, what would I do if I needed to get a deal in like 60 days or a week? And you talked about going through your contacts and thinking, and I was literally driving down the road, and I look over and there's a farmer that farms, but he also has a fencing business. And I'm like, dude, I've had like 5 clients in fencing. So I'm like, maybe he'll want leads. Called him up. I never even got on a Zoom close, by the way. That was this one.
Really?
Yeah, this one, I sent him 5 leads. I had a conversation with his wife, had a conversation with him. I sent him a screencast. Then I called him up a day later and said, hey, did you watch the video? He's like, yeah, everything sounds good. Let's do it.
Love it, dude.
And so like it was just like, and it kind of like was like crazy. I was like, what the freak? And then like the next day I was like, well, I'm just going to upcharge this client that is definitely underpaying me, and I'm just going to upcharge him $100. So like to add on top of this, I actually upcharged one of my clients $100 a month, and upcharged another client $200 a month. And so it was like this momentum thing, and it was almost like this game to me of like how much money could I stack up and like the opportunities. But then again, I was thinking of past deals, like another deal that I landed. It was another person that I had previously lost 6 months ago, and because I couldn't provide the leads. So I was like, it wasn't that it was a bad thing. It was that I couldn't provide the leads that I wanted to. So I followed up. I had Facebook ads going. I was getting like, I've gotten 30 leads in the last 2 weeks. And then I called them up. I didn't have a Zoom call with them either. It was seriously a conversation of like, hey, this is what I'm getting. Let me send you 4 or 5 to like show you I can get these leads. And then it's going to be $1,000 a month for 6 months, and then we'll raise it after that. So
Crazy.
I can't really say it's like hey, I'm doing this, this, and this, but it's more of my thinking of like, there's so much opportunity that like you're missing out on that I wasn't thinking. And a lot of it was like, I know these guys, like I'm going to see them on the farm. Like it's going to be awkward. Like I don't really want people to know that I like do websites and farm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
and
think
so
it's the ultimate. I think it's the ultimate like uh brand. Like, what's the word? It seems like it's weird because you're like, well, who? I should either be a farmer or I should do websites. But it's like the fact
yeah.
that you do both is what makes you unique and memorable. Like you think about, like I heard Alex Hormozy talking about this one time with Joe Rogan. It's like Joe Rogan is a podcaster, yes, but he's also into hunting, and he's also into
Mm,
into like chimpanzees, and he's also into like aliens, and he's also
mm,
into and all of these different things. He's into supplements and brain health, and all of these things are what makes the Joe Rogan brand. So I think
mm.
what to your point, I don't, it sounds like you got over that, but I think those are the things that you're interested in. You like making money online and farming it. I've never heard of anybody else in the world that has an online business that is also a farmer. But I also don't even know
Yeah.
anyone that's under the age of 50 that farms. So you're like in
Yeah.
a category of your own, which I think is very unique for branding. So keep going.
Yeah. No, it was just, it's a mental roadblock. Like I really do think and to answer your question, like what got you over the 8 to 10K, it was my mind of like, thinking that 10,000, like, and it is a lot of money. That's the hard thing, is like I don't just think of $10,000 as nothing. Like that's a lot of money. But like for me, I was thinking this is like that money's mine. Then I started to think of it as a tool, and realizing that I can use this to like build this massive agency. And that's when it became easier to like spend the money on the ads, spend the money on the VAs, and like, like sometimes you don't think you can do things, but it like sometimes it just takes risking it, like saying, oh well, what worst thing that's going to happen, I'm going to spend $1,000, I'm going to run 4 campaigns, but I could make that up in a deal. Like that was my mindset, is like as soon as I land a deal, that money's, I'm broke even that first week. So it was a lot of my own mind, and honestly, just it's like my mind, like you don't realize how powerful your mind is, but you just have to get over that, like, hey, everyone in this group is doing the same thing, we all have the same doubts. And I just was like, I'm just going to do this because I'm not going anywhere, like I'm going to farm no matter what. And so I got to make this work type deal. It was more like I just got to get focused, and that's when I felt like I was able to get a lot more deals.
So if anyone else noticed this, and I got a couple questions I'm gonna ask you here from in there, and if you guys have questions, go ahead and drop them right now. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but like Porter just barely said in more words than probably he needed to that he's not doing anything different than what you guys know how to do. The only thing that he said is that he's his mindset. He's fixed his mind. He's starting to look for more opportunities. He's realizing that he can make more money. Like $10,000 isn't really that much money in the grand scheme of things. He's just kind of it's really just been his mind. And I remember this time when I was a door-to-door salesman, 2015, and I was just going off. I had it was one of those weeks. I did 20 accounts, which the average person was like a good person was doing like one a day. So it was like six a week, maybe two on Saturday. Seven was a good week. 20 was like I mean, I was just going off. I was doing like four in a day sometimes. And that was what people getting in a week. And I remember at the meeting, and there was this rep that was in there. His name's Jeremiah Zoki. His guy from Michigan. He's been doing this alarm stuff for like 12 years, like four times longer than me, three times longer than me. And they're all asking me questions kind of like this. And finally, he just got pissed because I kept answering kind of like Porter. And I was like, well, I'm just doing like what we're talking about. And he's like, bro, you've sold 20 accounts in a week. Why aren't you telling us what you're doing? Are you just going to hide it from us? And he got like pissed off. And I was like, bro, I'm not doing anything different than you. I'm just doing what we're talking about. And I had already said this. I said, and whenever it's time to go home, I knock five more doors. That's it. I'm getting on the doors. I'm getting to work. I'm doing the same pitch as you. Same pitch I'm training on in the meeting. I'm selling the same product, same pricing, no special. I'm knocking the same neighborhoods as you, but I don't know what to tell you. I just believe in the product, and I'm like, so anyway, I'm saying this because Porter's just doing the thing. He's doing the process, but now he's finally like unlocking levels in his mind where he's like, yeah, you know what? 20,000 is a lot of money when you live in Parowan, Utah, because it is. There's not, I don't know anyone else besides there's like the three rich guys in town, right? And of course, farmers make a lot of money. They just don't show it. But I don't know one person in that town right now that makes $20,000 a month in a job. Not one. Okay. Okay. Maybe there's one that whatever. I'm not going to mention names. Okay. Cool. So but when you get out into like other places and you start realizing, dude, there's people making $20,000 an hour. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It completely just blows your mind. So, um, let me ask that last question. I'll get into everyone else's questions. Is how do you wrap your mind around thinking a little bit bigger when 10,000 is a lot of money? When you're like to everyone around you, all your friends, the people that you're around, how do you get yourself in a different mindset where you're like, I need to make way more money? I like when you're around people that are making $1 million a month, I get it. But when all
Yeah.
of your friends, this is the importance of friends, but sometimes when you're
Yeah.
in small towns, it's hard. How do you get your mind changed around that?
I honestly, it's been good. Like I live in a small town, but I wouldn't say like a lot of the people I associate with are online. Like it sounds really weird. I'm not like this Discord guy, but like it's true. Like a lot of the guys that I am constantly filling my mind with is like I'm in the Facebook group, I'm in digital landlords, I'm doing calls, and like a lot of it is online. So I'm kind of surrounding myself with those types of people, but I don't know. It's more of just like I'm a big fish in a small pond. It's more just like real life. And honestly, though it's weird to say, but like me going on vacation to different places and just seeing like what's out there a little bit, like even going to Vegas or like going to wherever, like flying somewhere, and you start to see these houses or these like we drove up the mountain, saw these cabins, they're massive, and you're just like, dude, like, I wonder what that costs. And you're like, well, what I'm making, I'm sure as heck not going to be able to afford that. And so it starts to like make your mind, and you're like, well, I wonder what they do. And all these, your mind just starts to think. And so to answer your question, I don't have the answer of like what I did specifically. It wasn't like an overnight thing. It was more whatever I was doing, like what you are telling us to do, I was barely scraping the surface. And then I basically have fully bought into what you're teaching us. It's more like, hey, instead of you telling us to do this, I'm gonna double that and love like get on way more Zoom calls because I've never done door-to-door sales, so I don't know. But I need to double my failure rate. So that's what I started doing. And that maybe is what did it. Maybe it's the more Zoom calls, but I would say like my energy, I'm more excited. I do this like throughout the day, and like I'll be at night and I'll be sending over leads like at 2 in the morning. I'll wake up and I'll see a lead come in and I'll kind of like send it over, just
Jeez.
text it. Like I just like I check my email all the time. It's just like it's become enjoyable to me because I just work, and maybe it's I just like that's what farmers do. We just love working. But I
Yeah.
truly believe it's just like it wasn't an overnight thing. It was just like I just am trying to double whatever you've been telling us to do and just fix my head.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes without saying, that thing that you pointed out, which hopefully you guys connected the dots. The biggest thing that you're doing is you're taking double the action. Like, I mean, you're doing what you're supposed to do, what we're training you to do, but you're doing 10 times more than everyone else in here, right? Like I don't think anyone in here, again, I'm gonna give the Pavones probably some credit because I think they probably are taking some significant action. And that's just because I know what numbers they're at. Everyone else, if I missed anyone and you've done more than this, let me know. I just haven't seen you talk about it. But like, how many Zoom calls did you do last month? Right? Like, even my agency, okay. I think we closed 2 deals, right? We added, like, Francesca added, I mean, you closed one for us. I'm not including that one, but we added, 2,000, 2,500, whatever the amount was. I think Francesca only got on 2 calls. So it's like, and it's the same thing. Like, I spend most of my time here with this community. So I'm trying to let her kind of take the reins, and I'm really impressed with what she's doing. But it's like, well, we need to triple what we're doing, the activity. And in fairness to Francesca, I have her doing a million other things too. So that is more difficult. But yeah, that's it. Just do more of the right stuff. Don't overcomplicate it. There's no secret sauce. There's no secret niches. There's no Nick's jumping on my calls and pretending he's my business partner. I've never done that. You're just doing the same stuff, but you're just doing a lot of it, right?
Yeah. It is. So like I'm telling you that when we hopped on that live, I think it was I told you this last time, it was 2 weeks ago, but that guy whoever said it, he hops on like 10 Zoom calls a week.
Zach Powell.
Uh
Yeah.
Zach Powell. And I was just like, and he was telling me he closes like 30%. And I was like, well shiz, dude. Like if I like I gotta get on way more calls. And that's kind of what clicked is and to be honest, I'm doing all the right things, like, and I'm pretty like confident in my close rate, but I wasn't like confident in the BOs that I was talking to. Like everyone will take free leads. So I knew I was going to lose deals just by picking the right people. So like I say that little tip alone, if you got on twice as many Zoom calls as you are right now, you're going to land more deals.
100%. Cynthia just said, Cynthia Pavone, she said, agree. We've doubled number of trials and closing calls each week. And there's no wonder that they're also at 20,000 a month plus. And they also have full-time, like, big boy jobs, like real estate, like big time real estate agent. I think on the commercial side, um, Cynthia has her own business. I'm trying to remember exactly. Remind me what it is, Cynthia. It's in the medical space. It's like, is she a dentist? I mean, it's like optometrist. I was close. Okay. Like, it's funny how the people that are the busiest and they've got kids, it's like they're also just crushing life, right? That's crazy, by the way. Husband is in commercial real estate. She's an optometrist. They're doing 20,000 a month. Porter's full-time farmer, baby, church callings, wife, 20,000 bucks. You know what's also awesome, dude, is that both of you guys, the Pavones and Porter, you guys are doing 20,000 a month plus each. And there's people out there that are literally like the guy I saw today at Chipotle, has never made $1 doing this. Isn't that crazy? Like, you guys have made infinitely more money than most of the people out there teaching how to do this stuff. And it's kind of disgusting, but it's also you guys should be proud of yourselves. Like the first program I ever bought, the guy that I took it from, I think he had a 1 month where he did 30,000, then he like retired from it, and he's like, I'm just gonna do coaching. And I think that's because he didn't want to actually have to do the work, right? So anyway, shout out to you guys. That's awesome. Okay, a couple questions really quick, Porter. First one from Jonas. Is he still on? Did he have to leave? Oh, he left. But let's see if he's still on. I'm going to have you answer it in case he wants to watch the replay. Jonas said, what does the convo look like when going for the upcharge to a business owner?
Um, I basically just tell them the numbers. I said, hey, like we've been, as time goes on, the website's getting better. Obviously, the world has gotten more expensive, which it has. Like my ads are definitely like for some areas where I'm paying for ads. I'm like, hey, it's a little bit more expensive. Like, don't you think it'd be? I basically just say, hey, the price has gone up. And some of these guys, the contract, I've waited till the contract has gone up. And sometimes if they're being weird or whatever, I'll kind of like let that be like, hey, I'm gonna upcharge them and I'll either lose them because there's like I'll just find somebody else because I'm confident of me trying to, sell it again. So I'll kind of risk it. But a lot of times it's just a super open conversation. Like, hey, things are getting more expensive. Like I need to, raise the price on it. And a lot of them, they're like, yeah, dude, he's like, you've been giving me so many leads. Like just that's totally fine. Don't worry about it. You
Yeah.
know?
I think it's good to do that when you've had a good month too. Wait till the end of the contract. If it's been a bad month to end the contract, make sure it's a good month and then ask it. But also I've noticed if you do that along the way, hey, the prices it's more expensive, leads are costing, ads are costing more, whatever. It's easier to do that than you wait 2 years and it's been the same price and then you try to bump them. Then I feel like if I went to some of my clients right now because they've been with me so long, it would be a hard conversation, which I think I should have been like kind of bumping it from the beginning. So I think that's smart.
Yeah.
Ashley says, Porter, how many campaigns did you run when you first started?
Uh, like when I first started,
I think when you
when I
first
first
started in general, you were just running one at a time, yeah?
it was one at a time, and it was good, but it was like it was barely getting one deal a month. It just wasn't because sometimes that area wasn't good.
Yeah.
So I would say like right now is 4 to 5, and so some of these are brand new areas. Some of these were like replacement areas of like they stopped working with me, and so I like restarted the campaign. I would say like right now, if I have 4 campaigns running, I'm pretty. I could at least have 1 to 2 Zoom calls a week, pretty confidently, like closes.
Yeah. And I remember when I had, by the way, really quick follow-up question. Are all the campaigns you're running right now all on Facebook ads?
Dude, I have one running for Google Ads. Everything's Facebook.
Beautiful. And I don't know about you, but dude, I've been getting so many. So the leads have been a lot cheaper. I know they're not as good a quality. I know that, but like I also think that guys, a lot of times with the business owners, it's like it's more them seeing that you can produce the leads than them having like I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but if I were to talk to a business owner, me giving them 5 decent leads like 5 days in a row would probably make it easier for me to sell them than me giving one lead in 5 days, even if the lead was a better quality. Now,
Yeah.
if I could guarantee that they would close that one lead, that would change what I would that my opinion. But I do think that there's something to be said about constantly being able to deliver the results that puts these business owners at ease. Leads coming, leads coming, leads coming, and just kind of like always having stuff come in. It makes them feel like they've got more control. So I don't know. I'm really, really liking Facebook. I'm not going away from Google entirely at all. That's why I'm still telling you guys to make sure you do your due diligence with Google ads in mind, but we're going to run Facebook
Hmm.
ads. Okay. Ashley
Yeah.
said, I'm hoping with Facebook ads, we can try to start 2 in our first 30 days. I think that's completely realistic. I think guys, when you very, very, very first start, I mean, turn on 2, and if one starts taking off and you feel overwhelmed, just pause the other one.
Yeah.
Then just when you close the one, turn the other one on and get another one in the queue. And now you get comfortable. Okay, now I'm a little more comfortable. Now I've got 2 running simultaneously and I'm passing leads over. And then you get comfortable with that 2 months later. Okay, now let's do 3 at a time. When I scaled up like crazy in 2020, we always had 5 running. But I had a
Yeah.
full operation going. Like I was like, all right, I'm only a closer. I had somebody that was literally calling and doing setting. I had somebody that was just answering leads and passing leads over. And then I had Francesca. So it wasn't a huge team, but I did have individual roles because I was like, that's all I did. 5 campaigns at a time. And we were just smashing it, dude. 5 at a time. I was only getting on closing calls. And we scaled like a mother. And for 2 years, we scaled and scaled and scaled and scaled. And yeah, that's it. So Porter, I think you keep running 5. The nice part with Facebook ads, how many on these deals that you've gotten? What's the most? What's the least you've had to spend to get the deal, and what's the most you've had to spend on Facebook ads? Any ideas?
I would say $200 to $300 is the most I've had to spend on a deal, and I would say
Which
100,
which
which is
in
not good. Bad.
within Google ads, that's pretty much average. That's
Yeah,
low. So 200 to 300, we're talking about like that. That's high. You instantly get your money back. And then on the low end, how much?
like $150.
Right. We got that deal, that last deal we got in our agency, before you close one for us, $112, 36 leads, 7 days,
Dude,
$750 a month. Niche of a niche of a
yeah,
niche. Pretty
guys,
crazy.
I honestly wouldn't suggest Facebook. Seriously,
Yeah, you guys
like
shouldn't. I would
leave that for me.
not
Leave
do.
that for me, dude. Just leave that to me, dude. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, don't do Facebook ads. I would stick to Google. That's
No,
what I
but
would do.
dude, it's crazy. It's just like and you could set up a freaking do chat GBT, dude, create me a logo, 5 minutes, dude. I could set a campaign up in 20 minutes. It took me like an hour and a half when I started.
Speaking of Facebook ads, the same freaking goonball that ignored me at Chipotle today. Do you know when they follow me on social media, and when I post like how many leads we get, dude, I've gotten like 3 texts in a row. What's this new ad strategy? Can you show us?
Oh, dude.
Meanwhile, selling a course that they teach you how to pre-sell. I'm like, dude, this world's freaking messed up. Guys, don't ever pay someone money that you wouldn't trade places with, or that hasn't
Yeah.
done what you want to do. Like, it's wild. Anyway, dude, this is awesome. When are you? I mean, dude, here's the reality. It's October. You have 2.5 months to hit 25K. You got five. You got probably three at your rate. You got 3 more deals that you need. Because you're averaging about like 1,500, but you're close. But like by December 15th, that last 2 weeks of December, you can pretty much count on like you're gonna have some time with the family, whatever. You might sneak in a deal, but
Yeah.
you pretty much have 75 days to hit 25K. When do you think you can hit it by? Think you can hit it by the end of the month?
Yeah, my goal is to hit my goals. Honestly, right now, I've been trying to change it to like I'm trying to get one deal a week, like on like minimum. And like some weeks it's zero, but then the next week it's like
Two.
two.
Yeah.
So I'm shooting for one deal a week. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks I should hit 25. But like honestly, I think what held me back from hitting 10K was dwelling on 25. Like I'm just gonna keep my foot on the gas. Like I really do feel like I just got to keep getting campaigns, keep doing what I'm doing, but like make it better, like try to improve everything I'm doing, like because when you get bigger you got to get more organized, trying to just do different things. But
Yeah.
yeah, keep my
You
foot on the
just
gas.
again back to Nick Saban. He talks about process thinking. The 25 is the goal in the back of your mind, but you don't obsess over the 25. You obsess over becoming the type of business owner, the type of entrepreneur that makes 25,000 a month. And that becomes your identity, right? So if you were like, I think about this all the time, like if I want to become $1 million a week kind of guy, right? What does that person do? Does that person freaking sit there in the middle of the day and waste 30 minutes on Instagram? Absolutely not. No, no, no one out there that makes $1 million a week got there by doing that. Okay, so now I start acting like that person, right? And so, like Nick Saban always would teach his players, it's like you guys, yeah, we want to win the game, we want to win a national championship, but every single down, we need to execute perfectly. So Porter, every single step of the process, we're going to execute perfectly, and every single day, we're going to plan our day, we're going to do all of our stuff, we're going to go for our closing call, and we're going to get a deal. We're going to try to get a deal every single week, and then Okay, we didn't get one this week. That's fine. We're going to focus on getting another one. And then next thing you know, you're just focusing on executing each task and each day perfectly and becoming that person. And you pull your head up and you're like, oh, I'm at 30,000 a month because you don't sit there and dwell on the 30,000. You just focus on the things that are going to get you to the 30,000. So that's, I think, a big thing. And I think you've been doing that without even maybe thinking about doing it. So
Well, and
anyway,
just to add on to that, like money, the deals will come at you and you don't even think about it. Like I've had opportunities that I've gotten deals because I've just been doing the process and it was nothing I did. I was in the right spot at the right time and I was able to get a deal. You know what I'm saying? So like just keep doing it because like what you're doing today, again, we talk about it all the time, but like what you do today, you might not see for a month.
yeah,
Like you really might not.
money is a lagging indicator. And that's the
Yeah.
truth. Like I'm finally starting to feel some of the momentum. I've been grinding like very intentionally for the past 7 weeks. This is I think my eighth week. No, haven't traveled. I haven't been anywhere. I've not missed. I think I took a half a day or 3 hours off one day because I went to the lake with my kids. And then one day I think I slept in because I was just dead from the weekend. My fault. Other than that, dude, I've been on task. Haven't missed a day. Haven't none of that. And I've been pretty. And I'm finally starting to see stuff is starting to like stack up, and I'm like, oh, that we just got two quick wins in a row. Like, and so money is a lagging indicator, guys. It's just people don't wait long enough to see it actually come in. So, anyway, dude, Porter, thanks for jumping on the call. Appreciate it, guys. If you want to make more money, go make more offers. I think it's pretty simple. So, Porter, we'll see you on the next call, dude. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
See you guys.